So what makes me cranky about Deepwater Horizon? It is disgustingly anti-dinosaur, that's what. This film thinks it's funny to introduce Mark Wahlberg's character and his family by having his daughter practice her school presentation about how her daddy is the one thing standing between us and the monster that dinosaurs have become after dying and being crushed into oil by the weight and pressure of the earth and water above them. Bad enough we're treated like monsters in movies where we get to be alive. Now they're going to trample on the memories of innocent dinosaurs just trying to rest in peace by making them out to be some malevolent force waiting beneath the ocean. This movie plays the deaths of an entire race for laughs, and it uses a little girl to do it. It's absolutely repulsive. When it isn't being disturbingly dinoist, Deepwater Horizon is doing that based on a true story thing, where it recounts the catastrophic failure of a drilling rig in the Gulf of Mexico back in about 2010 that killed 11 people and covered the Gulf Coast in oil. It's the second movie I reviewed this year, taking on real events, the other one being Sully, about the miracle on the Hudson. You can check out that review. It's on my channel too. And this is clearly the better of the two. I went into this wondering how they plan to make an oil spill entertaining, but damn if Peter Berg didn't surprise the hell out of me by creating one of the best disaster flicks I've seen in a long time. Perhaps because it's happening in a tight, confined space where people we've actually seen for more than 3 seconds are in actual danger, instead of just being a giant CGI monster machine destroying a lot of CGI buildings, it has a little more impact. Now, I spent half of my review for the last Jason Bourne movie mocking it for making it impossible to see what was going on during the action sequences, and Deepwater Horizon has that problem at points too. When the action gets going, the camera's up close and shaking with dust and smoke and flames everywhere, obscuring your vision. Almost everyone is of similar build and wearing similar clothes, so you can't really tell them apart, etc., etc. However, you do get just enough clarity to understand what is happening, and unlike with Bourne, it works with the action instead of against it by creating a sense of confusion and claustrophobia you'd expect to feel if you were trapped on a platform at sea that's on fire and falling apart around you. And the effects themselves are top-notch too, so it makes for a very immersive experience overall. What does not work is when the dialogue is impossible to understand. Most of the stuff that comes out of Mark Wahlberg's mouth is total gibberish to a layperson, and then you toss in John Malkovich doing this strange accent that I think is supposed to be Cajun, and you can basically forget understanding the mechanics at work here. And yet, even though you can't really tell what the hell these people are talking about for the first 20 minutes, just the looks that Kurt Russell is giving people make it clear the decisions being made are not smart ones and are leading them down the road to disaster. So kudos to the actors for making up for all that garbled technobabble. In fact, I was really impressed by how well this movie built and maintained that tension. Much of that's due to the pacing. It's just fast enough to get to the point, but not so fast as to feel rushed. And unlike Sully, it actually manages to turn a relatively short event into an hour-and-a-half movie without repeating itself constantly. Whereas Sully ended up being completely anticlimactic as a result, Deepwater Horizon consistently ratchets up the tension until the very end for a very satisfying experience. Steve Jablonsky is owed some serious props on that score, pun intended, because the music he put together for this really enhances that sense of looming danger. His ability to sell a feeling with his score is why he's still the best thing about the Transformers movies, and he definitely nailed it here too. So yeah, Deepwater Horizon was a very pleasant surprise, other than its rampant dinophobia, of course. And I'd have no problem recommending you catch this one in the theater if you're super interested, especially because this is one of those movies where a big screen and a super surround sound actually do work to enhance that experience. So full price all the way on this one. And if you want to help my channel explode, do me a favor and drill into those like and subscribe buttons.